Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Steve and Will here, ready to talk the Detroit Lions football. I don't know how Steve ranks these things, but these are my second favorite episodes. When we're going to talk about how we're about to put the belt to somebody's ass. But before we do, hit that subscribe button if you haven't for some reason, and think about becoming a member so you can win some free stuff. Steve, what we doing? How you feeling?
Second favorite episode. I would much rather come on here and talk a Detroit Lions victory, which is what I plan on doing tomorrow night. One of my best friends, and when I mean best friend, like family, is up here from Kentucky. He's a Cleveland Browns fan. He's taking him to the game tomorrow. And I told him, like, tomorrow 1 o'clock it's belt to ass, like nothing less. Like, I don't know what you're walking into expecting here, but only one of us is going to be leaving here happy. And I plan on having a nice Sunday. So it's strictly business at 1 p.m. Friendship aside, enemies for 3 hours. I'm excited, Will. This is a team that the Browns I'm not overlooking. I know Aiden Hutchinson's been asked that question. Emotional win last week against Baltimore. Could this be like a trap game, a letdown game? And Aiden Hutchinson answered the question right. He said, in the NFL, there's no such thing as a trap game. You take everything serious. But from a fan standpoint, Will, do you feel like this could be a trap game for the Detroit Lions?
Steve, when you go into that's the emotional win department, the first thing that I think about is the Browns are coming off an emotional win as well. Lots of drama in that game. They had to fight tooth and nail to come out on top, and they beat a team that a lot of people were deeming invincible. So
undefeated, some would say.
Yeah. So bottom line is they're coming off the same thing, if not a worse situation than we did. So for that reason, I think you kind of take that out of the equation immediately. The second thing I'm going to say is this. I'm not worried because of this right here, Steve. If you lock a dog and a lion in a cage, who's coming out of that thing? That's essentially what we're doing here. What are we doing in this show? That's what I'm expecting here. We're locking a dog and a doggone lion in a cage Sunday. The lion is going to come out on top of this thing, but I guess we can get into the meat and potatoes of it.
I mean, if this was strictly just a mascot versus mascot, I can't think of another animal who takes down a lion. So we're king of the jungle, obviously. I mean, if you lock us and an eagle and a raven, I would expect the lion to come out on top. I mean, or a pack of cheese. Like I don't see many scenarios where a lion loses, but unfortunately, that's not how football works. Well, I wish it was, because we'd have 49 Super Bowl appearances or something, 49 wins, it'd be absolutely unstoppable. But meat potatoes, Will, where do you think the Detroit Lions have the biggest advantage against the Cleveland Browns?
I'm going to say something crazy, Steve. I'm going to say something crazy. Our defense versus their offense. I haven't got an opportunity. I don't know a time in podcasting where I've got the opportunity to say that thing right there. I am confident that this defense that gave Lamar Jackson absolute problems last week is in the driver's seat for dealing with the Cleveland Browns offense. So would you say that I'm crazy, or are you in the same boat?
No, I don't think you're too far off, but I tread lightly right now. Well, tread lightly.
Okay, I understand.
And I think their offensive line is banged up. I'm trying to look as we speak. I thought one of their tackles got injured last week against Green Bay. I'm trying to confirm that as we talk. So, I mean, if we just look at what we did against Lamar Jackson, you think, oh, just do that against every team, right? Like, that's obviously a real winning recipe. I'm sure the Cleveland Browns have looked at how to protect the quarterback better than what the Baltimore Ravens did, especially with Joe Flacco back there, who's a statue. Hey, no disrespect, we have a statue as well, not the most mobile quarterback of Jared Goff. So you'd think that if you could contain Lamar and do everything we did with 30 pressures, 7 sacks last week, that Joe Flacco sitting back there should be a sitting duck. I don't know. I'm sure that the Browns will scheme up some stuff to try to give him some extra protection. And what I think that's going to do is limit their playmakers that they have on the field. Because when I just look at who on their offense scares me, makes me lose sleep at night, I'm going to be sleeping pretty good tonight, Will, is what I'm going to say. So when you're trying to take extra running backs and stop Aiden Hutchinson or Al-Qadim Muhammad, or if you're, trying to help Joe Flacco with some running back, staying back in pass protection, you're taking weapons away from Flacco, and your weapons are kind of limited to begin with. Jerry Jeudy, they just don't have pieces that scare me on their offense. On their defense, another story. We'll get into that. But I'm with you, Will. It sounds easy to do. Just say, hey, man, just go out there and do what you did against Lamar. But that's not always how football works, unfortunately.
No, you're absolutely correct, Steve. But when I look at this thing, if I'm not just going to talk about the defense versus their offense, kind of staying in a similar boat. If there's a shootout, and I'm not saying that there's going to be because I respect this defense. The Browns have a phenomenal defense. I respect Coach ex Detroit Lions head coach Jim Swartz as a defensive coordinator. He's special at what he does. But the bottom line, Steve, this offense should be able to score on any team. And now that it seems like we're hitting our stride a little bit, still a lot of meat on the bone, but we're starting to hit our stride. This young offensive line is starting to get comfortable and they're starting to gel. I'm thinking, Steve, this will be a perfect. And I know we used it last week, so don't think that we're going to be using this term every week. But it's another week where this can be kind of a benchmark game. We got a tough, gritty defense that's going to be coming to town, and I really think if we can light it up against the Cleveland Browns, this offense is exactly what I thought it was at the beginning of the season. Now, I'm not going to lie, Green Bay had me questioning some things. And then I said it last week. I know it wasn't popular what I said, but we beat up a Baltimore Ravens defense that didn't have their best pass rusher and their best defensive tackle, who actually ended up going on the IR today. But for those reasons, I put a little asterisk by that abuse that we put on their defense last week. This week, those dogs are going to be out there, and I think it's going to be a true test, Steve. But I'm expecting the offense to come out on top of it. I think that the defense is kind of the Cleveland Browns defense. That is, they're kind of crippled by the Browns offense. So when the Browns offense is going 3-0, we're playing that field position game. I think that that's going to fall ultimately in the Detroit Lions' favor, and for those reasons, we're going to eventually take the upper hand on that Browns defense.
Yeah, just looking at the kind of how we measure up against the as a team, you see our offense number 2 in the league when it comes to scoring. Browns number 30, so literally polar opposites. And then defensively, we're kind of middle of the pack with points per game, kind of toward the back end. But I mean, we just got the game against the Ravens doesn't really show like what we really did to them. They scored a garbage time touchdown, or I think that 26 points per game would be a little bit lower. Their total defense 1-1, and then we're in the middle of the pack 13-11. So obviously their strength is their defense. Will they be able to stop a number 2 offense in a passing league with 1,000 ways to cut you? I don't see how they can stop us enough, but I do get with you with saying that field position is going to be a game, because I don't want to say who my player of the game is yet, but I think I got a sneaky one today, Will, and I'll share that at the end of the episode. But that's just how we measure up against Browns. They have an elite defense. We go out there and hang 45 on them. We might be talking about one of the greatest offenses of all time because of how great their defense is. And it's not just Myles Garrett. It's not just, Mason Graham, who was a rookie we were very high on. Malik Collins has been eating pretty well over there too. Carson Schlesinger, a young, I think he's a rookie. They're very, very high on. Devin Bush.
Yeah, UCLA.
Yeah, Michigan kid. We're familiar with him. Their secondary is good. Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Greg Newsome. Like, they got some. It's not just their, big dogs in Myles and Mason. Like, they're pretty loaded at every single position group. So defensively, they're going to be a test for us. And I did an episode the other day of the words that, John Morton was getting into, was saying, well, that's great, but Cleveland's never seen a run game like ours. And Cleveland responding, and some of their guys saying, well, that's great. They've never seen a run defense like ours. So something's got to give tomorrow. Well, are we going to run the football? Are we going to pass the football? But we got so many ways to beat you that I'm feeling pretty confident in this one.
I love it. I'm in the same boat, Steve. I don't even need to piggyback on that, man. Outside of it, it excites me. This matchup excites me because anytime that we're at Ford Field, I love blowouts. And I know some people, I got a friend of mine, it's going to be their first Detroit Lions game. And they're like, man, I'm hoping for a good game. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm hoping for a blowout. I hope it's over in the first half, and it's just nothing but Kyle Allen in the fourth quarter. That's truly what I hope, right? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean or anything like that, but I don't need to see a close game. I don't need to see anything exciting. I don't want any nail biters. I just want belt ass. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity for the Detroit Lions to show that they're just a different caliber team. And it would give me a warm and fuzzy to know that Green Bay struggled with these guys and we beat them up. You know, it just give me, hey, I'm just looking to draw anything to just get that week one situation out of my mind up until we get to see those boys again. So that would be another part of a warm and fuzzy. But Steve, you mentioned the tackle situation, and you're right. Their starting left tackle is out with a season-ending LCL injury, and for that reason, Steve, I think I might know who your player of the game is, but I'm not.
You don't. I promise you don't. Just with what you just said right there, I know you don't know who it is.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but I got a feeling that I might know who it is. But now you're kind of throwing me off a little bit. Maybe I'm off, but maybe you might know who mine is. Go ahead. I digress.
My player of the game. That's who you want right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're here. I might as well. Defensive player of the game.
My defensive player of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Lord. I'm never prayed on a podcast before, Will, but I need to see something out of Terrion Arnold. Need to. Something. Sticky coverage. I don't even need an interception. I just need him to force tight windows for his throws. All right. If the receiver's catching the pass, I have no problem with him giving up a completion. I don't love it, but I respect the fact that the other team has professional athletes too. Okay. I just want to see him making it as hard as possible. I want Joe Flacco sticking that ball like to literally where only his receiver can catch it if a reception is being made. I don't want to see him getting burnt in man coverage. I want to see him playing some better zone. I'm usually locked on to them trenches when I'm watching the defense. My eyes for this game will be locked defensively on Terrion Arnold when he's in the game, because they've already hinted that Amik Robertson's going to be playing outside. So I'm assuming Terrion Arnold's going to be playing some nickel. So when he comes in, I need to see something, Will, because at the very least, I need to see what his role is going to be going forward. Is he fighting to get that outside corner job back, or is he looking real comfortable at nickel? All eyes are on Terrion Arnold. I just want to see him have a good game. I don't need a turnover. If he can force a fumble, great, fantastic. I just want to see him play good tomorrow.
Steve, you mentioned TA, and I feel like we both get beat up a little bit for our TA takes by some people, not everybody, by some people. Like we've given up on them and all of these things. That's not the case at all from either of us. But what I need to see out of TA, staying on that subject, is I need to see him around the box. That's what I want to see. I want to see TA around the box. I think that his physicality is underrated. And I think that people will be surprised when they see what he plays like around the box. Now, if that's at nickel, I don't even want to call it nickel, because there was a package against the Baltimore Ravens where TA came off of the field and Brian Branch went the outside corner. So I don't think it necessarily has to be nickel, but I'm looking for Amik to get an opportunity to play outside. I know that they said that his workload would be increasing and he would be getting some more snaps. I don't know what that looks like. I guess we may find out Sunday. But I'm looking to see maybe Amik go outside with DJ, and then let's get TA in and around the box playing against slot receivers, tight ends. And I really want to see that. And I want to see him play phenomenally at that. So a lot of people have talked about his development and giving him some time. I think that would be a great opportunity for him to get a new look, kind of get a little refresher, and get an opportunity to make some plays, because I watch some of those guys in there breaking on footballs and making plays and having an opportunity to roam a little bit. So that's something that I'm excited for. But Steve, you gave I'm assuming TA is your defensive player of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's who I want to see do best. Now, do I think he's going to have the best game? No, but I don't know. I know you're going to call it a politician's answer, but I need TA to have a good game today. If he plays out of his mind, great. Do I think he's going to have the best stats? Probably not, but I'm going to go with TA. Maybe he gets his first interception, because he's been kind of beat up all this week, so maybe he's going to respond. You know what? I'm going to stand on an island by myself, I assume. Pick 6, Terrion Arnold coming in hot.
I like it. I like that a lot, Steve. And I will say I'll stand on that island with you and hope that you're correct. But I will not stand on that island and say that he's going to be defensive player of the game, because that's not what's going to happen. Steve, there's going to be a sacrifice at Ford Field. And it's probably going to be Joe Flacco. And Shedeur Sanders has been inactive. I'm going to take a little shot in the wind here and say we might end up seeing Shedeur Sanders because he has been the emergency number 3 quarterback, and I think that this thing might get so bad that we might see that emergency number 3 quarterback. The bottom line is this: Cleveland Browns, they lost their starting left tackle to a season-ending injury. They got to put a Band-Aid on that, and their right tackle has an elbow injury and is questionable. So if he is out there, he's not going to be 100% himself. And Al Muhammad has been playing some doggone good football. And we know all about Aiden Hutchinson. So even adding on to that, Steve, what's his name? Out of Bowling Green, I believe, is a Harold Fannin.
The tight end, yes.
Yeah, he's a young dude. David Njoku, he's another one. And then Quinshon Jenkins. I don't see any of those guys being able to deal with Aiden Hutchinson. Like going out and chipping him with a rookie, that's not going to go well. That's not enough, man. A rookie running back, a rookie tight end, David Njoku, some tackles that you got off of the dollar menu. Steve, Aiden Hutchinson is about to have a day. Defensive player of the game, the only right answer. Hutch is about to go bananas. If you know anything about Aiden Hutchinson, people, he's a guy that can go weeks without a sack. And then when he starts getting them, he just starts eating. I think this is going to be one of those days where he eats. You might see 2, you might see 3, but Aiden is going to be just dominating this football game, being a game wrecker. And I think that on a list of defensive ends that I feel like for some reason he's just going down the list for some reason because of the way that teams are triple teaming him and making their game plans about him. I think that he shows them why he is who he is and starts to jump back up that list based upon what he does. Steve, Aiden Hutchinson goes bananas.
How many sacks? Call your shot.
Listen, I'm going to say 3 sacks. 3 sacks for Aiden. Period.
That's solid numbers. Let me tell you this, William. Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders. If it gets down the line, the Browns might want to think about bringing in Money Manziel if he's available. Okay, because we're just gonna be eating up court. Yeah, Shedeur surely ain't ready. Dylan Gabriel ain't ready. Deshaun's getting tugs. Joe Flacco's 105 years old. Money Manziel might be their only option. Like, I don't know what kind of emergency situation they're looking at, but I don't know. Yeah, I can see the Lions picking on the offensive line with their injuries. I just want that same energy defensively that we had against Baltimore, where everybody was up, everybody was fired up. I don't know if it was because Monday night, big game, a clash of 2 great teams. They had a big win last week. We had a big win last week. I think the Detroit Lions are more poised to navigate those waters of big wins, given Dan Campbell and his experience. But offensively, I'm going with guys that I'm not expecting massive stats out of, but there's a heavyweight fight on our offensive line that I'm looking forward to seeing, and that's Myles Garrett versus Penei Sewell. All right. That's my offensive player of the game. I don't need him. He's not going to have a touchdown, more than likely. I don't know what the odds on that would be. I might throw $1 or $2 on it just in case, but just in case to see, just because the payouts would be astronomical. But those are 2 of the best on best. Like when you're playing football and you're doing a one-on-one drill and the coaches call out best on best, it's going to be Penei Sewell versus Myles Garrett every single time. I'm going to be locked onto that matchup. Myles Garrett's going to win a matchup here or there. Dude's just too damn good. I hate to say it. He's just too damn good to just lock down and say he's not going to make an impact on this game. I need that to be absolutely minimal, and I think the Lions have a massive advantage with having the best tackle in football on our team. If I were the Cleveland Browns, I might test Taylor Decker a little bit more with Myles Garrett instead of Penei Sewell, because I think more times than not that's going to be a wash. So Penei Sewell is probably my offensive player of the game. Again, he's probably not going to have 5 catches for 60 yards. He's probably not going to have 10 carries for 100 yards. He's not going to probably throw a touchdown pass, but he's got the most important job on the field on Sunday, in my opinion.
I like it, Steve. I like where you're at. The only thing that I will say, and you nailed it, I think that we're gonna see more Taylor Decker, Miles Garrett. Steve, there was a short video that was going around YouTube and going around Twitter, and it was Miles Garrett laughing about a play where he ran by the tackle and a tackle. It was when they played Green Bay,
It was
and
last week.
Green Bay's left tackle started screaming, "Run, run!" I was he's like he got beat so bad, all he could do is scream for Dude Love to just run for his life, and for that reason, Steve, I think that the matchup's going to be Taylor Decker. I'm not going to steal your thunder and pick Taylor Decker, go with that offensive lineman as you did as an offensive player of the game. But I will say that that's going to be a key matchup to watch. But when I'm talking about offensive player of the game, I think that there's been a lot of people that have been just beating up one of the dogs of this team. And that's none other than Jameer Gibbs. Uh, I think that a lot of it is kind of a misunderstanding. I made mention to the fact that I would like to see Demo at the beginning of football games, maybe that first series, maybe set that tone for the football game. I've seen other people saying that maybe Jameer Gibbs isn't a three down running back and some other things. That's not something that I believe, but I think that maybe he hears a little bit of the noise. Maybe he comes out with a chip on his shoulder. Maybe he breaks a couple versus the Cleveland Browns. For those reasons, I'm going to go with Gibbs, offensive player of the game.
I like it because I don't know if I told you this the other day when we were watching the Ravens game. David Montgomery broke off that 70-yarder and got hawked down by Marlon Humphrey. The difference with Gibbs is he's watching the jumbo screen and seeing that the nearest defender is still 20 yards behind him. So, I mean, that's the difference between Gibbs and Montgomery is if you let him get to the safety level and you don't have a good angle on him, it's a touchdown. Just the 6 points might be on the board before the ball crosses the goal line because everyone knows you're not catching them. Sleeper pick? Well, I got a sleeper. Never done a sleeper pick on a game day show, but I kind of hinted at it. The field position game I think is going to be something Cleveland is going to want to play. They're going to lean on their defense if they can. I don't think they're going to roll the dice on any questionable fourth down calls like Dan Campbell does because they just don't have the offense to do it. So I feel like if they can pin us with a punt inside the 10 or the 5, my X factor for this game is going to be Khalif Raymond because I didn't love some of his decisions last week in the punt return game where we kind of had to go on those 98-yard drives because he thought the ball was going in the end zone. Khalif, I need some cushion. All right, I can't let the Lions defense be getting backed up while we're running plays in our end zone with Myles Garrett and Mason Graham in there. Just can't have it. So field the ball, get 5-6 yards. Anything's going to help. Maybe break one off. Sleeper. Punt return touchdown tomorrow, William. Punt return touchdown. And people say Steve's so crazy with his takes. Someone said that on our last game day show. What do you want me to do? Get up here and say Jared Goff's going to go 11 for 15, 160 yards, and 1 touchdown? Like, is that exciting? No, I'm putting something out there that's crazy. I want something to happen that doesn't happen very often. We have not had a defensive touchdown at Ford Field, and I can't remember how long. I've been calling for one for 2 seasons, Will. TA is going to get one. I think Khalif Raymond gets a punt return touchdown. And Penei Sewell has the most important job on our offense. So those are my 3 guys I'm got eyes on this week.
I like it, Steve. I think you're floating around some success in there, but I think Taylor Decker's going to be that dude, man. Taylor Decker's going to show why he don't got to practice all week. Coach Campbell just says, "Hey, TD,
rest up,
bud. Hey, come in feeling as good as you can and do your job, man. We ain't worried. We talking about practice. You ain't got to worry about that, man. You're a veteran, so I think he's going to show the reason why he is who he is. Because I'll tell you this: if I'm game planning for the Detroit Lions, I'm not going to send guys against Penei Sewell if I don't have to, right? But I am interested. I know there will be moments. I'm interested to see how Penei does against Myles Garrett. So that'll be fun to watch, man, all the way around. But yeah, Steve, I truly would be disappointed if we didn't control this football game. I'm not NFL football games typically aren't blowouts. Do you have one here and there? You do. But these are the best of the best going against each other. I don't need to see a blowout, but what I do need to see is us control this football game. Up by a touchdown or 10 points the whole game, just in the driver's seat, it never feeling close, even though it may be within 10 points or so. You know what I mean? It's the bottom line for me. I'd be happy. I don't ever want to sit in my seat and feel like, man, I don't know who's gonna win this game. This is tight. I don't want that uncomfortable feeling. Just want a dominant, controlled environment to just maybe enjoy a couple of brewskis and a Lions victory.
William, the only time I want to be anxious and nervous is on my drive home during Lions games. All right, I want to go to Ford Field and just be relaxed and cool as a cucumber. Save the anxiety for I-94 and I-75 and 275, whatever way you got to get home, because you never know what's going to be closed on a Sunday in Detroit. So that's the only time I'm okay with being anxious. I want to just sit back and enjoy this game. So, Will, I'll give my score prediction. I said last week I don't think there's any way that the Lions are going to hang 50 on the Ravens. We flirted with it. 38, not too far off. 12 points, not bad. I don't think we're scoring 30 against the Baltimore Ravens, but I also don't think we need to. I don't think that their offense wants anything to do with the shootout. I think they want to play, and I mean this in a positive way. I watch Michigan football, win a lot of football games doing this. I think they want to ugly up the game and play good defense, run the football, not do anything flashy, break something. Maybe you get a good bounce your way here or there. But offensively, I like our matchups on defense. I like our cornerback matchups. I like our safety matchups. I like our defensive line matchups. I like everything from top to bottom on our defense versus their offense. I'm going to say 27-13 Lions. I think that's a fair score. I think the Lions are up 7 with the ball late in the fourth quarter, maybe 4 minutes left. And we punch in that second touchdown to go up 2 scores and seal it. 27-13 Lions. Well, what do you got?
31-17. Book it. I'd bet on it. 31-17. There's no way that I don't see us scoring at least 4 touchdowns. It's really not anything super crazy. You know, I don't feel like that score's nuts. Basically a touchdown a quarter, right? Is where we're at with it. And then get me a field goal along the way. Get me 31. And 17. I don't think that it's going to be a shutout or anything crazy. They find a way to get a couple in. You know what I mean? And they kick one. 31-17. Lions singing a lot of the fight song, enjoying ourselves. The coffee Monday morning at work is going to taste delicious.
I hope it does for you. I'll be off on Monday morning. I don't plan on going in, so I hope that coffee at work does taste real good for you, William. Hope it's great coffee.
If they play good enough, I might be off too.
Let me ask you a question. Should we do what we did last week for the game? Do a little fun challenge?
Hey, Steve, I'm gonna say until somebody wins that, I think we do it every week automatic because it's not impossible.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because someone said, I downloaded an app and I ran that exact scenario and the payouts were like plus 5,000. I said, yeah, I know it's hard to do. That's what makes it fun. I don't know if you guys noticed, but down there at the corner, my last name is Perkins. Okay. It's not Musk. It's not, it's not Mr. Beast. It's not McAfee. Like, okay, we try to give a little something. I understand that it's hard to hit, but here's what we're going to do. For those of you who haven't watched or don't know the rules, $100 gift card on the line. The rules are very specific. You have to get your entries in before the ball goes in the air. And if your comment is edited, disqualified. Because I saw some people editing their stuff last week during the game. If your comment for your predictions are edited in any way, DQ'd. First touchdown score, last touchdown score, correct score of the game. Whoever gets it will win a $100 gift card to Rally House. I think you got to get 3 things. I know they're hard. That's what makes it. Some people were really, really close. I think there was one person who had the touchdown scores reversed and was off by 1 point last week.
Wow.
I think someone guessed 38-31 with Gibbs scoring the last touchdown and Mark Andrews scoring the first. It was close. So they had it and they were off by 1 point. So it's not impossible. There's some people who are flirting on the door. So there's the challenge. You guess the correct score, the very first touchdown score of the game, and the very last. It could be anyone. And again, touchdown score possesses the football in the end zone. It cannot be a pass. So if you guess Jared Goff, has to be a rushing or a receiving touchdown, not a passing touchdown. So there it is. Anything else for tonight, Will?
Yeah, last thing, man, and most important thing for me, my youngest son turned 7 today. Time is flying. Had to smash a little cake in his face, just
unbelievable. The disrespect.
Just let him know. But Boom Boom's birthday. That's what I call him, Boom Boom. But Boom's birthday, man, today turned 7, man. It's been a great weekend so far. I just need the Lions to go ahead and bring it home. Son's team, high school team, took belt to ass, blowout win. The youth team today, blowout win. So Lions, just why not? Why not just make this weekend just a phenomenal weekend?
I need one thing, Will. I need Grant Stewart to do a DNA test immediately. Immediately, Emily. I need a Grant Stewart DNA test. I don't know if we got to get his toothbrush or what, but I don't know.
I'm telling you this. I hope it's his because I'm Grant.
All right, there we are. We'll be back later with another episode.
Hey, man. Peace.